are here today with your two sisters because you say you're tired of being lied to by your mother, Ms. Liddell. You all claim she wasn't a good mother and say her promiscuous behavior is the reason you need the results of a paternity test today. Ms. Liddell, you admit you haven't been the best mother, but you say your daughters are being unfair. You claim they're still punishing you for the mistakes you've made in the past, and today you want it to end. Do you believe you are these young girls' biological father? Do you believe that?
Deep in my heart, Your Honor, and I hate to say it, and it's hurting me to say it too, but no, I do not.
You don't act like it, so it shouldn't be hurting you. He said no. You don't act like it. You sure don't act like it.
What are your doubts? What are your doubts based upon?
You don't believe he's your daddy?
I always had the doubt in my heart. When I met her mom, she was living the type of lifestyle as a party girl, fast girl. I done caught her in the act. One time I caught her in the car with a guy.
Because you was watching my back.
Okay.
I was not gonna catch it if you was helping.
Why did it take 23 years?
That doesn't make no sense.
Okay,
I got to do
ladies,
it.
let's get some order. Let's get some order. This is the man that you were told was your father.
Correct.
Yes.
Now, he's expressed that he doesn't truly believe he's your father.
Right.
Your Honor.
I have a question for both of them. Why did you miss my 8th grade graduation? You weren't away.
Because
you were out. You were able to come. Why did you miss it?
Jamie, because I was a piece of, like, I'm not gonna keep down on myself, but I didn't care about y'all.
Oh,
I'm keeping it real. Y'all want me to keep it real? I didn't care about y'all.
Thank you
because
for
y'all
finally admitting
y'all was in my way of doing what I wanted to do.
She told me she should have aborted me. She said I'm not her daughter. She should have aborted me.
I sure did. I sure said that because you know what?
Miss Liddell, hold on. Oh my gosh, it's like poison just coming out your mouth.
You know, they talk so bad to me that I don't know how to get back at them. So I say what I know is gonna hurt them.
Hold on. Let's get some order. Let's get some order. We're here regarding the paternity of young Hope, Ms. Wilson's daughter.
Right.
Mr. Phillips contends that you were with Ms. Wilson in the club, that you were kissing in the club.
I was.
Were
We
you
weren't
kissing?
She was showing me how to kiss.
I'm a good teacher.
And that.
And she really showed me how to kiss.
So you were at school getting a lesson.
That is
Yes,
correct, Your
I
Honor.
was
You
getting a lesson.
weren't really kissing her. It was a lesson.
Right.
It was.
It was a
I'm
lesson.
a good kisser.
Mr. Garcia,
Yes, Your Honor.
have you ever been intimate sexually with Ms. Wilson?
No, Your Honor. Only mouth-wise kissing.
Only kissing.
And her lips only, that's it. And tongue.
So silly.
But never sexually, anything like that.
So why should Mr. Phillips be so sure that you aren't the father of her child when you admit to having this lesson and being very close, traveling together? Any man would think.
Right now, it's understandable, but I'm gay, so I can't be the father.
Oh. Well, that would be a material fact.
And we
I
never had a
thought he was a
conversation.
regular, friend of hers that was the gay friend. Now I believe he's a bisexual friend.
At some point, you two were happy. Take me back briefly. I want to understand. Were you happy at one time? You had to be.
At one point in our life, I believe that we truly were happy. And I think it was when we first met. We were just teenagers. Our moms were really good friends. And occasionally I would see Edward, and I thought he was a goofy little kid. But at the same time, I was attracted to him. So from that point on, me and Edward were pretty much inseparable. And then we ended up, throughout all the situations of the cheatings that had already occurred, I got past that. I forgave him. I gave him another chance. And then we decided to get married. And when I was a child, I used to go to Maui on my summer vacations because my stepfather lives there. So we went there and we had a nice island wedding. And things were really good for a long time. At least I thought so.
At some point, you realized maybe
He's a dirty, nasty.
That's what you are. That's why
Yeah.
we're here today.
So wait a
Because,
minute.
You know, you
but
doing the
before
same
we
things
go
you're
there,
accusing me
before
of.
we go back there, Mr. Rizzo, at one point you loved this woman very much.
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct. You know, I knew from the first time that I laid up my eyes on her that she was going to be the person I was going to be
Then why have
with.
you always cheated on me?
Because you do the same thing.
He's a liar. That's why he's always hitting on my family members.
He what?
He hits on them all day long.
Mr. Rizzo, are you
Like I said,
hitting
a dirty
on her
nasty.
family members?
No, you know what the thing here is, Your Honor, with this situation.
What is the thing? Please
Yes,
tell
please
me.
let us know. Let me know.
Okay, the thing is, I've been with the same woman since I was more than half my life, since I was 15 years old. And, you know, I started to get in the itch and wanted to go outside of our relationship.
Dirty nasty, like I said.
After we had our first child, then she started gaining weight, and I started losing my affection
For
in
real?
our relationship.
Mr. Rizzo, now wait a minute. As a husband, you've got to understand.
You act like you're pretty or something.
You act like you
No,
perfect or
but the
something.
point is that's your wife. You're supposed to love her unconditionally.
Okay, what about the...
You're admitting, Ms. Hall, that you slept with Mr. Elliott and your ex.
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Is this a yo-yo, a seesaw type relationship?
I love them both. It was hard. One gave me great sex. The other one gave me a great relationship and the support I needed for my kids. I needed it all from him, and then Max also couldn't give me that. So I had to run to the other guy.
I wasn't really financially stable at the time. That's how I feel like she really went back to him every time because his family is well off. I was poor growing up. I had to fight for everything I had. It's just I couldn't support him financially. That's how I felt like
I
she
was
kept
honest
going
with
back.
him from the get-go. He knew who I was before we was even together. He knew.
When you say he knew who you were, tell me, what do you mean by that?
Well, I was with him and the other guy. He knew that before he even started a relationship with me.
Is that true, Mr. Elliott? Were you aware of it?
Yes, I was aware of it, but when we started talking and everything, and after she broke up with him, then we decided, she said she had feelings for me. I told her I had feelings for her. We started a relationship, so I thought she started a new commitment with me. She wouldn't do what she'd done before with him, and we would be in a relationship together. I know
Ms.
that
Hall,
she's like that.
wait. Let me understand
I
her
know she's
position
like that
here.
and everything.
Her position is you knew this going in.
Yes,
now,
he did.
Correct me when I'm wrong, because I want to understand. I love you for this reason. I love him for this reason. So if you want to be with me, I want to be with you, but don't be mad if I also want to be with him sometimes. Is that what you pretty much told him?
Basically, but if he wouldn't have pushed me to do this, I wouldn't have.
I gotta get to this pushing part because what is it about the arguing or what he's doing that's pushing you? I mean, it sounds like it's just an excuse.
No, it's not an excuse, Your Honor. I can't be with a guy that's going to argue with me.
I can't trust her if she's going to go back every time to
Well,
him.
I don't think you can.
Well, maybe you could trust me if you
Give me a
would
reason
be...
to trust you. If you'd stay with me and didn't go back, then everything would work out.
I wouldn't go back if you wouldn't be such an to me.
Hold on now. Miss Hall, this is a courtroom. You need to use appropriate language.
I'm sorry, Your
okay?
Honor.
So the point is, if Mr. Elliott truly isn't giving you what you need in a relationship, why not just break it off?
It's hard when you love somebody.
All right. So you say you love him, and you also love your ex, right?
Not as much as I do Max.
Okay.
When she had the baby, I didn't even know she had the baby. I wasn't even allowed to come up there to see it. I wanted to be there.
Wait a minute.
I wanted to be at the hospital when he was born. I
You
wasn't
weren't allowed to come
I'm
up
sorry,
there?
if he could find a ride himself, Your Honor, he could have came up there. That's his fault.
No.
Wait a minute. You're saying you weren't allowed?
Yeah, her.
What do you mean by that? Who told you you couldn't come?
Her boyfriend. She let him sign the birth certificate.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. He didn't sign no birth certificate. There's no birth certificate signed at all.
Who was at the hospital?
My ex and me.
And at that time, when you were at the hospital, had you made your ex believe this was his son?
Yes, Your Honor, I did. He gave me the comfort, the love, the support, the financial stability that I needed for me and my kids.
And so at what point did you then decide that Noah was Max's son?
I slept with both of them in the same week. Monday I slept with one, and then Friday I slept with another.
Say about 3 months into the pregnancy, she
I
broke
was
up.
confused. I didn't know who the father was.
Where are you two in your relationship right now?
I'd like to trust her. I want to be able to trust her. I want you to know I love you. I really do love you with all my heart. I love Noah. I want him to be in our life. Your other girls, they look at me like a dad. I mean,
But
I
want
want to be with you.
arguing
I
to
want to
stop,
be able
too.
to trust you.
I'm willing to do anything I can to prove to you that I do want to be with you, but the arguing and stuff has to stop.
Miss Hall, when's the last time you were with your ex?
About a month ago.
She told me she
And I
she
could
hasn't
be
been with him.
pregnant again. So I also could be pregnant again in the same situation that I'm in now, where both guys could be the dad.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Miss Fisher, you say your mother, Ms. Johnson, raised you not knowing which of two men is your biological father. Today, you are hoping to finally get that answer because both men have been tested and we will meet them shortly. Now, Ms. Johnson, you argue that you've always had doubts about your daughter's paternity, but since both potential fathers have taken part in her life, you feel Ms. Fisher should just be grateful for what she had.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Ms. Fisher, tell us, why do you disagree with your mother's position?
I deserve to know who my father is. She know who her father is. You know who your father is, I assume.
absolutely do.
So I should know who my father is.
So, tell me a little bit about this.
I've been grown up thinking that one man was my father, but at the age of 10, I find out it could possibly be somebody else.
So you grew up believing that Calvin was your father, and that's Mr. Triplett.
Yes,
And he'll be joining us in a moment.
yes. And then
Keep going.
at 10 years old, John comes around and
And that's Mr. Fisher.
Mr. Fisher. He comes around to a birthday party, and she says, "This is your goddad." About 2 weeks into that, he's coming, picking me up for little day-to-day outings, but I can't understand it as a 10-year-old child. Until 2 months after that, she tell me that this is my dad. As a third grade, over the intercom, I've learned that my name was changed to Fisher.
Wait a minute. In third grade over the intercom?
Yeah, after the Pledge of Allegiance, they congratulated me on it, my name changed.
And you were sitting in your class and didn't know it was coming?
Didn't know it was coming.
You decided it was Mr. Fisher.
Yeah.
Why did you tell everyone that Mr. Triplett was your daughter's father for 10 years?
He was there, okay, at the time. Listen, I never told John and I never told Calvin. I never told John and I never told Calvin.
So you telling me that this man is just raising this little girl, but you've never told him this is your child?
Exactly.
What? Let me get this together. Miss Fisher, so all this time you're growing up
Thinking
and
Calvin.
you've been told Mr. Triplett is your father.
Yes.
But deep down in your heart, you always felt like Mr. Fisher was her father.
Exactly.
Whoa. Ms. Prowl, now you're asking the court to award you $475 in back child care expenses.
Yes, Your Honor.
Should one of 3 men be identified as your baby's biological father?
Yes, Your Honor.
You say your 6-week-old baby has 3 potential fathers,
Yes, Your Honor.
including the defendant, Mr. Morton.
Yes, Your Honor.
All of these men have been tested and we will hear from them shortly. Now, Mr. Morton, you say that the endless list of men Ms. Prowl has slept with has led you all here to paternity court. You believe it'll be proven today that you are not her baby's biological father.
Yes, ma'am.
So you were sleeping with 3 co-workers from the sandwich shop.
Yes, Your Honor.
You contacted 2 of them to say you were pregnant, but you never contacted him.
Yes, Your Honor. But I do not want him to be my child's father.
Well, you can't control that, can you?
Possibly
You
could
act
be
like
the
you can pick.
father.
No one is talking to you.
Wow. I didn't know you could pick.
Let me make something clear. If you having sex at the back of parties, in the bathroom, unprotected, with everybody in the sandwich shop, you're not gonna know who your child's father is. Ms. Beto, you say you were furious when the defendant asked you for a DNA test on your 7-month-old daughter, Ileana.
Yes.
Now you claim that request has broken up your happy home. Mr. Bolton, you state you have reason to believe Ms. Beto's child may not be your biological daughter. You say you are desperate to discover the truth because you've already grown to love her as your own.
Yes, ma'am. When the baby was born, I cut the umbilical cord, the doctors wiped the baby off, and they gave Ms. Beto the baby at first. She was still fatigued from delivering birth.
Understandably.
So they gave me the baby. The doctor that gave the procedure to deliver the baby, he handed me the baby and he looked at me. He said, "Are you sure this baby's yours?" And I looked at the doctor. I looked at the doctor. I'm like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Because this baby's white." I'm looking at him like, "What do you mean this baby's white?"
Jerome, have you ever heard of such?
But
that's a first for me.
So I had a lot of things on my plate, but I wasn't denying her because I had other things on my plate. I just kept saying, I don't know because we haven't had a DNA test. Her mother told me I was not the father.
Ms. Tucker, when does your mom finally admit to you she believes Mr. Hunter is your biological father?
I was 23, and we were in the car with my aunt, and they have they're a loving relationship, but my aunt's very vocal. And I just was talking about some things that I wanted to do, and my aunt made the comment to my mom that she had not been truthful to me about who my dad was, and she needed to tell me the truth. And my mom looked like she just looked like my aunt better keep her mouth shut.
Oh.
Yeah. And so I'm in the back seat and I'm looking at my mom and I'm looking at my aunt and I'm like, "Mom, what is she talking about?" And my mom is like, "You better be quiet, you better not." And that's when my aunt told me that he was my father. Yeah.
So your aunt actually submitted a statement to the court. It reads, "My sister confessed to me that Charles was Adriana's father, but at the time she wanted nothing to do with Charles." So, Mr. Hunter, have you ever thought and said to yourself, what did I do to her? Why am I the person that she wouldn't tell? And the whole town, my mother might know, her sister might know, my family might know. How are you the only one that don't know?
Did it have something to do with another situation that we were in that she was mad about?
What situation? We here now. I mean, I could see the look on your face right now. I know it's got to be something else. What's the situation?
Well, I had met a young lady, and come to find out it was Adrian's sister. And I thought that she was mad about that.
So you slept with her sister. Did you know this?
Your Honor, this has nothing to do with my sister.
When I came back to North Carolina, Adrian wouldn't speak to me, she wouldn't talk to me, she had nothing to do with me. That was the reason why I felt she wouldn't talk to me.
Got it. See, this is it. Ooh, thank you, Lord, for patience. After all this, you find out you're pregnant.
Not exactly that way. He took me to Vegas for my birthday. And on that trip is when we had sex again, unprotected. And I know for a fact that I conceived October 20th. That's my birthday. So that
in Vegas on October 20th.
But I have proof that October 15th, a friend of mine, Mr. Stevenson, seen her at a bar talking to somebody else. And I have this statement right here.
Let me see that evidence, Jerome. This statement says, "So my friend Joel back around October showed me a girl he met and was starting to talk to on Tinder back when I was in California. But like mid-October, I was at a bar or club and I saw her there talking to another guy, feeling on him. I recorded it and sent him the snap of her giving her number to him." And that's the statement from your friend.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that date was what?
October 15th, and I believe that could have been the conception date.
it looks bad. It looks bad. I get that. I understand that.
Ms. Wilson, you're in the middle of a paternity triangle. caught between two men you slept with, cousins, who grew up as brothers, two men who believe they fathered your 10-month-old son, Arrow. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Nicola, you've always believed Arrow is your biological son, and you are here to prove that today because your whole family has come to love him as yours. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Eddie, you admit to sleeping with your cousin's fiance. You and your aunt contend you are Arrow's father and plan to prove it today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And for the record, these two young men are first cousins.
Yes, Your Honor.
And their mothers are identical twins.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I'm not sure how much looks is gonna play in this equation. So, Ms. Wilson, I want to ask you, how do we end up in a paternity dispute involving two cousins?
I messed up. I made a mistake. I'm here today to figure it out. I don't want the family feud going on anymore, and me exactly in the middle of it, my child in the middle of it. One night, there was a family get-together. There was alcohol involved. Cordell had been tired from work that day. He had work the next day, and he didn't want to drink. We had all gotten hot inside. Nathan and I went outside. I became very intoxicated, and he kind of like took care of me, and before it ended up, we were on a hay bale and we had sex.
Wow. Mr. Eddie, what is your recollection of this night?
I mean, I wish it wouldn't have happened because, you know, he's my cousin. She told me that I was really cute and she kissed me, and then we started walking to the hay bale and it just went from there.
So you had sex on this hay bale
Yes, Your Honor.
outside of the house where your cousin was in there sleeping after work.
Yes, Your Honor.
How many times did you have sex that night?
Twice, Your Honor.
So is it safe to assume that it was unsafe sex?
Yes, Your Honor.
So no protection. What happens when you wake up the next day?
He went to work and we just kept it secret until the week.
So, Mr. Nicola, they admittedly kept it a secret. What was your recollection of that night?
I came home from work. I dozed off on the couch, woke up. They were all outside. It was like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I went out and told them it's time to come in because it was getting late. And I came in, I put everybody to bed, being responsible, because I had to get up early the next day. And I went and slept on the couch again, got up for work the next day.
And you had no idea that your cousin had had sex with your girlfriend out on the hay bale before you put them to bed?
No, Your Honor. He is my cousin, and I trusted her.
And it happened twice. It happened that night after Cordell had put us to bed.
Oh, after he put you to bed, you had sex again?
Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor.
Wow.